Hello and welcome to Paint by Blunders. We are back with a painting tutorial. Finally, it has been a while. The channel has been slightly neglected through starting a new job, and I got hacked at the beginning of the year and that put a real downer on the channel. But I'm back, and I'm back with a painting tutorial, and this is the Fatemaster from the Disciples of Tzeentch. Love this model. I'm going to stop waffling. Let's get to it. For my priming, what I've done is use a grey primer through an airbrush and then used a white Zenithal, again airbrushed as well as our base. Now for the first coat we're going to be using Deep Azure from Warpaint Fanatics by the Army Painter, and we're just going to be going over all the armour. Just trying to be as neat as possible because the details are quite fine on this model and I don't want to put it on too thick and start obscuring that, fancy gold armor that we're going to come to later. After that, we're coming in with Turquoise Siren and we're going all over the armor again, but we're just avoiding the deepest recesses. You could, if you wanted to, start with this and not worry too much about the Deep Azure, but I feel where this is quite light, that Deep Azure base helps give this a bit more punch. After that, I'm mixing in Pastel Blue by AK Interactive with a little bit of that Turquoise Siren, but you could just add a little bit of white just to add an additional highlight, and we're just using the belly of the brush to do some edge highlights on this armor. Now onto that gold trim. Retributor armor from Warhammer paints now, or Citadel as you would have seen from my pot because it's quite old. And we're going to be putting 2 thin coats over this. It's one of my favourite golds. I've tried so many, but I do really like that orangey tone it has, and it really pops against your sort of turquoises. Unlike all Chaos models, there is a fair bit of trim that can be quite tricky, and we're just trying to be careful not to go over that turquoise armor that we put so much effort into making look so pretty. So a question for you. Who is your favorite Chaos god and why? For me, it's the Tzeentch stuff because, if I'm honest, my favorite films growing up, and they still are my favorite films, was Labyrinth and Dark Crystal. And I'm just getting Skexy vibes from like your Lord of Change sort of models. And I love that. So yeah, they win it for me. Now I know this is going to cause a few people to click off the video, but I'm going to be using a purple oil wash for the armor. I'm going to be targeting the recesses, but you can put it all over the armor if you want, because the redactive properties of oil paints means that it doesn't really matter how messy you get it because we can take it away after. If you don't want to use oil paints, I would be using a very targeted Druchii Violet or Luxian Purple contrast watered down for those recesses. But I'm using the oil paint because I can come in with my little egg nipple and with a little bit thinner, I can start pulling away that purple and leaving that turquoise underneath. Also, one of the things I tell people when you see these sponge videos to, take away paints, don't be afraid to cut the sponge into a smaller shape that fits your purpose. They are fairly cheap and it's pretty cost effective. So the cape, we are coming in with navy blue and Caspian blue, both from Scale Colour, and we're going to be applying 2 coats of that navy blue, and then we're going to come in with that Caspian blue and do some edge highlighting, but we're also going to do sort of a very soft dry brush at the bottom of his cape, just to try and add some nice little gradient as well. Nothing too extreme with the dry brushing, just to add a little bit of interest. As always, if you are new to these parts and you want to help me out, do please consider subscribing, liking and sharing, or just watching one of the other videos to see if anything tickles your fancy, because it does help the channel grow and I appreciate it massively. So this Fatemaster is going off to Rally Point Games and Mind Miniatures for Mental Health, where they will be auctioned off and enjoyed hopefully in someone's army or on their cabinet, with all proceeds going to the charity Mind. Now I will link Rally Point Games and Mind's profile in the description below, and also for Mind in case you don't know that charity as well, and it has been my absolute privilege to donate a model to those guys. Next up, Neptune's Glow as our final edge highlight for the cape. You could also use this for the armour as well if you so wish. And again, I will be doing a very light dry brush just at the bottom of this cape. So one final thing I wanted to do to the cape was give it a bit of a purple tint. So I'm adding a coat of Druchii Violet that I've watered down 70-30 and just pretty much applying it quite loosely over the entire cape, just to try and add some mystical sort of staining to it. After that, I'm coming in with Acrylics Steel to do the chainmail and also the weapon. At this stage as well, you can, if you like, add a little bit of this steel to the gold sections as a fine edge highlight. Once that's dry, I'm coming in with that watered down Druchii Violet and I'm applying that to the chainmail. But when I do it on the weapon, I hope this sort of footage shows how I'm trying to do it. When I do one side, I'm going halfway up and leaving my brush at the top. And then I'm also doing the other side halfway down and leaving it at the bottom to add that nice gradient. This is almost like a thin glaze and you can just keep applying it until you're happy with the tone. And apologies if I explain that like an absolute lemon. So a quick win now, we're using Incubi Darkness on the handle of the spear. And we're going to come back to that spear later, but for now we're going to tackle the flesh. Rakarth flesh is our base. You might want to do 2 thin coats of this. And once you've done that, we're going to be using Pink Flesh from AK Interactive's Quick Gen range. And we're just going to be doing a thin coat, 50-50 with a bit of medium. And we're just going to put it over to give it a little pink tint in some of the recesses. Once that's dry, simply coming back in with that Rakarth flesh and just highlighting the highest points to sort of show a bit of depth and contrast. And once that's done, just as a final highlight, we're using Tenderfoot Flesh from P3 and just picking out the, the highest points of the muscles just to add a little bit of interest and define those areas. So the horns, this is nice and simple for me. We're using Rakarth Flesh as a base. Then we're using P3's Umbral Umber, and I've just put 50-50 with some water and I've completely covered the horn. And then after about 30 seconds or so, as it starts to go tacky, I just wipe it away to add sort of a natural gradient. And that is how it looks. On to the Daemon Parrot. Burnt red from AK Interactive is our base. And you might be thinking, why on earth has he done this like a McCall? But trust the process. After that, we're using 2 pinks, Pastel and Troll Tongue, one from AK Interactive and one from P3. And we are just heavily dry brushing over the top of our Daemon Parrot, just to make it pink essentially. And that red just adds a nice shadow tone and depth to the bird. Now, if you wanted a sharper looking Demon Flamingo at this point, you could decide to do more edge highlighting and more layering instead of dry brushing. But I want to do this in a fairly quick manner. So I will do minimal edge highlighting just to neaten it up. After that, I wanted to give him a little black beak and some beady black eyes. So do let me know going forward if there's something you'd like to see me tackle, whether it be a model or a technique. And if I can do it, I will do it. On to some of the minor details now. I'm painting the jewel on his chest in a nice red ruby colour and then adding a single edge highlight of Rakarth Flesh to those horns and then a tiny white dot to that gem, and I'm calling them done. Now for the heroic rock under his foot. Middle Stone from AK Interactive will be the base, and I'm simply going to add a little bit more Rakarth Flesh to the mix and do slightly less every time to build up that gradient. So the first is sort of a heavy overbrush of 50-50, and then I'm going to come in and sort of do a light overbrush 70-30 to Rakarth Flesh, and then At the end, I'm going to use pure Rakarth flesh just to use some sort of marbling sort of markings on the stone. And then I'm calling it done with a simple umbral umber wash. As you may have noticed on this model, I'm using a lot of Rakarth flesh to do some lifting on different elements. I said we were going to come back to this bit, so the runes on it, I want to make them a little bit glowy and magical, so I'm starting by lining them in white, just to add a bit more vibrancy when I add the blue over the top. And I'm using fluorescent blue from AK Interactive through an airbrush, nice and thin and nice and light at about 15 psi. Excuse the terrible footage. Whenever I airbrush, I always forget to look at the monitor to see what's recording. I also use it to line the spear as well, just to add a little bit of a purpley blue gradient. Airbrush wise, I'm using my Galeri Aventis for this. So at this point, I looked at the Fatemaster and thought, oh, I wanted to add a little bit of depth to our Death Flamingo. And to do that, I've meant Luxian purple through an airbrush, thinned down, and just thought I'll spray it in the sort of the recess behind him and on the top of the bird at the base of his tail, just to try and make it a bit more contrasty. And I think it worked. I think it looks quite good. And I also put a little bit at the top of the spear. And honestly, I'm happy with him. That's a good amount of time I've put into him. I think he looks nice and sharp. I'm calling it done. Now onto the base. To start with, I applied AK Interactive's Desert Texture Paste. I then added a thin coat of Reichland Flesh Shade. Or Reichland, I will always get it wrong. I then gave it a quick overbrush, again, Rakarth Flesh. And just to point out, I've used Rakarth Flesh on the base, the stone, the skin and the horns. It's a very versatile paint. After that, I simply put the Fate Weaver on and thought I wanted to add some pigment powders because they're my favorite thing in the world. So I used some pigment fixer and some pigment powder, which was a light sienna, I believe, and just applied it onto the base and also the bottom of his cape and his boots. Now with the pigment fixer, it stays a little bit tacky for a while. So I mix in the pigment powder, and as it dries, it sort of mats out and brings the pigment powder sort of to the top. But one of the things I like doing is as it's drying, I add sort of dry pigment powder on a separate brush, which sticks to the top of it. Now there are loads of ways you can apply pigment powders, but that's just the way I like doing it. Yeah, it's just what I like doing and it works for me. So don't shout at me. And with that pigment powder done, I'm calling this Fatemaster done. As always, thank you so much for checking out this Paint by Blunders tutorial. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and doing all those wonderful things because it helps the channel grow. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one.